History is not a series of accidents. It is a series of handovers. Every few centuries, the medium of exchange changes, and with it, the definition of human freedom. We are currently standing at the precipice of the most dangerous handover in 5,000 years. Imagine a world where you do not own your wealth, but merely license it. You work 40 hours a week, the digital digits appear in your account, but the moment you try to use them for something the state deems non-essential or socially harmful, the transaction vanishes. No explanation, no appeal, no recourse. This is the endgame of the central bank digital currency, CBDC. It is the ultimate financial kill switch. For decades, the elimination of cash was marketed as a fight against crime and tax evasion. But those were just the justifications for the construction of a digital panopticon. Today, we deconstruct the mechanics of this trap, from the secret meetings of the 1970s to the programmable slavery of tomorrow. This is the story of how your wallet became a leash. To understand why they must kill cash, you must understand the lie of 1971. When the US dollar was decoupled from gold, money stopped being a store of value and became a tool of policy. Since that day, the purchasing power of the dollar has been in a terminal tailspin. But physical cash provided a barrier. As long as you hold a physical bill, you are a peer in the economy. You can trade with anyone anywhere, without an intermediary. This peer-to-peer reality is the nightmare of every central planner. They cannot implement negative interest rates effectively if you can simply withdraw your money and put it under a mattress. If the bank charges you 2% a year to hold your money, and you withdraw it in cash, their power over you is broken. This is why the war on cash is, at its core, a war on your ability to opt out. They need every single dollar inside the digital wire so that when the next great collapse happens, they can bail in the system by taking a percentage of your balance with a single line of code. You are being herded into a digital corral, and the gates are closing. The true horror of a CBDC is not that it is digital. Our money is already 90% digital. The horror is that it is programmable. In a world of physical cash, a dollar has no memory. It doesn't care if you are a saint or a criminal. It just works. But a CBDC is smart money. It comes with conditions of use. Imagine the government decides the nation is eating too much red meat to meet climate goals. They can program your digital wallet to only allow $50 worth of meat purchases per month. Once you hit that limit, your money effectively stops being money at the butcher shop. It becomes useless data. Or consider the expiration date. To force people to spend and stimulate the economy, the central bank can program your paycheck to lose 20% of its value if not spent within 21 days. This destroys the very foundation of the middle class, the ability to save. Without savings, you cannot build wealth. Without wealth, you cannot be independent. Without independence, you are a ward of the state. This is neo-feudalism, where your lord is a central bank algorithm that decides if you have been good enough to deserve your own earnings. If you believe this is a dystopian fantasy, look at the living labs of the world. In 2013, the people of Cyprus woke up to find their bank accounts shaved. The government simply took a portion of everyone's deposits to cover the bank's gambling debts. If those people had held cash, they would have been safe. Because they were digital, they were victims. In 2022, the world watched as the Canadian government froze the financial lifeblood of peaceful protesters. They didn't need to arrest them. They just turned off their ability to buy fuel, food, and heat. This proved that the financial system is now being used as a weapon of political compliance. And now, the infrastructure is being finalized in the West. The Federal Reserve's FedNow system is the plumbing. The digital ID is the key. Once these two are fused, your identity and your money become a single digital node. If the node is Flag. You cease to exist in the modern world. You cannot rent an apartment, you cannot buy a plane ticket, and you cannot participate in society. This is the ultimate soft tyranny. It doesn't require a gulag. It only requires a 404 error on your banking app. The trap is not yet locked, but the walls are moving. The push for a cashless society is being sold as an upgrade, but it is actually a downgrade of human rights. So, what is the path of resistance? It begins with the rejection of convenience as the highest virtue. We must understand that privacy is the prerequisite for freedom. When you use cash, you are performing a silent protest against the total surveillance of the human soul. When you hold physical assets, gold, silver, land, or tools, you are creating a parallel economy that the state cannot delete. The goal of the central planners is to make you a permanent renter of your own life. Your response must be to become an owner. Own your currency. Own your data. Own your thoughts. The dollar bill in your hand is a relic of a time when the government worked for the people, not the other way around. Every time you refuse to use the approved digital path, you keep the flame of autonomy alive for one more day. The transition is coming. The question is, will you be a user of the system, or a prisoner of it? The greatest power you have is the power to say, no. No to the tracking. No to the programming. No to the digital cage. The future belongs to the decentralized.